collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the DX Henshin Belt Bitter Gavv and Gochizo holder set from Kamen Rider Gavv. So as we've seen in the last few episodes, there is a clone running around called Bitter Gavv, and he has this new Henshin belt. I think it's really cool that they decided to make this just a normal retail release and not premium Bandai, because I feel like that's something that they obviously could have done, and I'm very excited that they did not. Looks great. I love the color scheme here. You know, we have the purple with the black, a little bit of red, silver for the belt, just looks really, really sharp. Of course, it comes with the Sparking Gummy Gochizo as well as the Vrukan Spicy Gochizo, so kind of evil versions of the ones that Gavv uses, which I think is kind of interesting. Looking up here on top just shows the two Gochizo. Down here, your usual warnings and whatnot. You will need 3 AAA batteries for this. Over here on this side, just kind of showing the contents of what is in the box. And then over here, we have a cool picture of Bitter Gavv and then the belt and the Gochizo. Spinning it around to the back. Pretty much works exactly as you'd expect. Pretty much exactly the way that the normal Henshin belt Gavv works. Pop them in, crank it, transform, get your special attack, use the other Gochizo, etc., etc. So I'm going to go ahead, get everything out of the box here, and we'll take a closer look. So here is everything that is included. I should stipulate there is, of course, a belt strap as well included in the box, but I always just leave them in the box because I don't ever wear these, but wanted to point out that it is included. So we have our 2 Gochizo, we have the Henshin belt Bitter Gavv, and then we have the Gochizo holder in black. It's exactly the same as the regular one that came with the Henshin belt Gavv, and just to show that off, here is the other one done in light gray. It is exactly the same, just a different colored plastic, so not really anything super exciting to show off there. You can, of course, clip these in, and then they have these little robot arms. I don't think we've ever even really seen them use this in the show. But yeah, I'm going to put that off to the side because, again, not that exciting. We'll take a look at the 2 Gochizo next. So we have Sparking Gummy, which I like this one quite a lot. You got the flame motif going on here. You got the chain, kind of a really nice sparkly black translucent plastic, which looks really, really cool. And then, of course, if we pop it open, he's got the crazy fangs there. Looking quite evil and menacing. Like that quite a bit. And then next up we have Vrukan Spicy in a really nice translucent purple, which again I think looks really sharp. Love the color scheme here with the blue. Pop him open. He's looking even more deranged. He's got the chains, the fangs, the crazy venom-esque tongue. I love it. Really, really looks cool. So we'll put these 2 off to the side for the moment as well, and we'll take a quick look at the Henshin belt Bitter Gavv. I love this. Again, I think the fangs here done with the metallic silver paint looks really sharp. He's got 3 eyes as opposed to the 2 for Gavv's. I love the silver paint up here. Looks really, really sharp. And then, of course, let's do a quick comparison with the normal Henshin belt Gavv. So you can see he's got kind of spikier ears as opposed to the, I assume they're ears, of these pieces on the side. Again, 2 eyes here as opposed to the 3. Otherwise, you know, very similar. Of course, the teeth are different. You can see that as well. Tongue's pretty much the same. All this lower section is pretty much the same. The handles on the crank are exactly the same, just different colors. So it is pretty similar, but I think it has enough of its own flair that it really works. Now, you can, if you wanted to, as we talked about a long time ago, these do pop off. So if you wanted to switch these, you technically could. Pop this on here and pop this on here. There we go. So kind of a cool look. I like the red and the purple over here, and then this one just gets very, very black. A lot of the same coloring going on here. But I do think the purple and the red looks kind of neat together. I don't think this will change the sounds at all, but it's neat that you can kind of flip them. Pop these back on. There we go. All right, we'll get this off to the side, and we will go ahead. Oh, I didn't show, but this is the battery compartment. Again, it works the same as the Henshin belt Gavv. This is where the batteries go. You got your on and off switch. Speakers are here in the front. So let's go ahead and turn it on. still does the burp sound, which I think is really fun. But yeah, let's go ahead and bring those Gochizo back in. So we will start off with Sparking Gummy. So it says bite a gummy while you're doing the standby, then you transform Sparking Gummy Yummy. So in the standby, it's saying beat you, beat you, beat you, and then it says Sparking Gummy End. I love the little sound it makes when you pop one out. Oh. Alright, now we'll try Vrukan Spicy. So that's pretty much it for these two. But this does have a full reader in it, so let's check out some other Gochizo. So obviously I can't show off every single Gochizo that's ever come out because that video would be about 2 hours long, but I figured I'd just pick a couple at random. Start with Zaku Zaku Chips. So the sounds are not incredibly different, still just kind of says Zaku Zaku Chips, says yummy, you know. The sound from the original to this one just has its own flair to it, but there's not really any like super new sounds. Next up, we'll try Cake King. So it kind of just says what you would expect. Bite, cake, cake, yummy. We'll try one of Ram's jellies. I always have trouble with these. There we go. Alright, so now we'll get into what I'm most eager to try. Some of these Legend Riders. That's kind of a disappointment. It just says X-Aid, yummy, what you would expect, I guess. But I was really kind of hoping it would say Genom instead of X-Aid. There was something that they did back for, I think it was Q Ranger. Yeah, it was the Dark Seiza Blaster. So at the time, X-Aid was on, and they did an X-Aid Q-Tama. And when you put the Q-Tama in the regular Seiza Blaster, it said X-Aid. But when you put it in the Dark Seiza Blaster, it said Genom. And I just thought that was such a cool idea. I was kind of hoping we'd get something like that here. But unfortunately not the case. Well, I was hoping this would say Ryuga, but I don't think there's a high probability of that now. So there are obviously several other Gochizo that we could try, but I would suspect that most of them follow kind of the same pattern, you know, where it's just the normal sounds, but in the bitter Gavv structure. So it's going to say bite, and then the name of the rider or Gochizo, and then, you know, yummy, and then end as the finishing attack. So unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's any hidden surprises. But we can try our new Gochizo and all of our previous roleplay items. Kind of some fun fanfare there. Sparking Gummy Shock. I kind of like it better in this than I do in the Bitter Gavv. And then, of course, Vrukan Spicy. Next up, we'll try them in the Valen Buster. So it just registers as gummy. Next up, we'll try the Gavv Blade. And lastly, we have the Gavv Phone. So it occurs to me as I'm trying Vrukan and everything else, Vrukan Spicy is just reading as Vrukan. Well, there you have it. So Vrukan Spicy is the exact same as Vrukan. It just reads as Spicy in the Henshin Belt Bitter Gavv, but it will read as Vrukan everywhere else because they're coded the same. So I still think this is a really cool release, but I'm starting to think that maybe Premium Bandai would have been a better option for this, just because I feel like they could have made it do more. I still think it looks great aesthetically. I really like the look of it, but I'm also kind of realizing why there's no like just Henshin Belt Bitter Gavv without the holder option, because there's no way they would have sold these by themselves. This is just, you know, the exact same thing as the first one you probably have, but done in black plastic, which is fine, but in my opinion doesn't really add much to it. And the fact that Vrukan Spicy is just coded the same as regular Vrukan and this just reads it differently is kind of a bummer. Now, again, both of these Gochizo aesthetically I think look fantastic. I think this thing's biggest draw just in general is the aesthetic, because it really, really looks cool. I love the color schemes. I love the designs. Everything about that is really, really neat. It's just unfortunate that, you know, while it has a full reader, it's just not doing much with the other ones. It's just kind of putting them into its pattern, you know, where it says bite and then yummy and then end for the finishing attack. I was really, really hoping that with the Legend Riders, if there was a dark equivalent, it would say that. And I think that would really make this so much more worth it, in my opinion. I can understand, you know, why they didn't do that, but I feel like that's a really missed opportunity, and I think it would have added a lot of value to this. As it stands, it's neat. Is it something I think you need? Probably not. If you have the Henshin Belt Gavv, you could easily get, I think both of these are going to be in the next Candy Toy wave. So unless you're like dedicated to having a DX version, which again is nicer, but if you can make do with a Candy Toy, you could probably just get these from that and you know, wait for a sale on this or just pass on this in general. It's really up to you. Your mileage is really going to vary with this one. How dedicated are you? Like I said, aesthetically, everything here looks amazing. I love it. Functionality wise, I was hoping for a little bit more. I'm not like unhappy with it. I am slightly disappointed, but I'm not devastated, if that makes sense. I still think this is really cool. I'm definitely glad that I have it. But I think if you're someone who's on a budget and you're thinking, you know, do I need to get this right now? You could probably wait. If you really just want the Gochizo, you can definitely get both of them in the upcoming Candy Toys set. And I don't think you're missing out on a ton with this. I think it's neat, but it's just not as impressive as I was hoping it was going to be, if that makes sense. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.